tell me when I'm ready.
You're
Now?
on, sure.
Buck, it's your old friend Buck. I just want to wish you the best in retirement. I know it's well deserved, and you probably should have left years ago. Nonetheless, it'll be a big loss to the district, Martha Brown in particular. So, best wishes from Buck.
The greatest advice, which I hope to carry on in my last few years of teaching, is how to say no. The greatest word, 2 letters. You taught me how to say it. Thank you.
Carney, I will not forgive you for abandoning me in my next rotation through 7th grade. I hope you find mornings with Joseph Conrad and afternoons with the dogs and really doing whatever the hell you want to do. We'll miss you, we'll channel you, we'll think of you, and remember you always. Good
Mr.
luck.
Carney, it has come to my attention that you will be retiring. And I thought, you know, you probably have already won the Crystal Apple Award. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Perhaps it was given to someone else. I thought for sure you'd get it. Then I thought I would take this opportunity to say goodbye in my own way. I'd like to remind you that the way we met, or at least got acquainted, was when you would come to my room in 238 and have lunch, because you didn't have a place to eat lunch in your end of the hallway. That began a fulfilling relationship between us. Over the years, we worked on the same team. We worked with the same students, and several students who you may remember. And I thought I would just bring to your attention this particular student. This is a campaign poster that we gathered from the hall, I suppose. You also may remember when we were supposed to be the enforcers or something with this. Don't really remember that. And then there was the one time we got a domino. Don't remember why we got that either. A letter from Mr. Shire about submitting attendance, which we all enjoyed getting, especially when we hadn't submitted attendance. The man who originally began to call me Mr. Weaver. Yep, Mr. Andrew Cooper. Last but not least, I'd like to draw your attention back to our friend. And I'd like to read some quotes, if I may. You may be able to finish these comments yourself. When chemicals turn hides into leather, it is called minerals. Natural substances, not animal or vegetable, are bleat. Mr. Carney, let me just take this opportunity to say that your retiring is bleat and minerals. From Mr. Buss and myself, enjoy your retirement. Mr. Carney, I've been instructed that I need to find 3 words to describe you, a complex person. I would say caring, maybe not in the traditional educational sense, but definitely caring. Caring about your craft, caring about kids, caring about your subject, caring about history itself and the preservation of it. I would also say that you have a degree of wisdom. I would also say that you are a thoughtful person, not necessarily sending out cards on people's birthdays, because I never got one from you, but thoughtful in that you always provoked thought.
Carnes, I'm gonna miss you a lot. It's gonna be weird without you here next year, and I really hope that our inside jokes with our good friends Kanye and Rex live on forever. And I'll be sure to visit Batavia sometime soon.
Professor Carney, aloha, my friend. I really appreciated the mileage total that you sent me about a month ago. I'm not really good with emails, so I never responded, but I showed it on my intelligent board to my students. The calculations from 1992, from Batavia to Fairport, that was just precious. You know, my first year teaching at Fairport, I was a traveling teacher, and we had a coffee club with yourself and Mr. Zimmerman and Jim Sluzarski and Bob Pomader, and it was fantastic. And I was a rookie teacher, and you really put your arm around me, and you nurtured me about how to teach 7th graders, and it was fantastic, and it's something that I'll never ever forget. And here I'm closing in on my 26th year, so I'm not too far behind you. Farewell, my man. I know I'm not saying goodbye, but I am saying farewell. And I know we'll have some coffee on down the road. Much love, brother.
Hi,
Cheers.
Carney. I'm gonna miss you a lot. I'm gonna miss you calling me Gouch in the hallways. No one does that anymore. I'm gonna miss I think we have the equal perspective on things that I'm gonna miss discussing with you. But I know you're gonna be having fun. And I'm really going to miss, and I promise to take care of Renee in your absence, okay? So Santa Larry will be well taken care of and loved, even though you
Take my hat off.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Hey, Floyd. Congratulations, buddy. I can still remember some of those cold mornings where you'd pull in early in the morning and we'd be brushing off the Floyd and repainting it, and you'd pull right in there, first one in, and you were something. So I loved talking to you all those years. You were the Chiefs. I still think of you with the cheering on your team, the Chiefs, and you were just a pleasure to be around, and thank you for everything you've done for myself and for the school. So good luck in the future, Floyd.
Hi, Jim. Congratulations and best wishes on your retirement. I may be one of the few people who not only worked with you as a colleague, but had you as a 7th grade student. You were a very cute 12-year-old boy, but you acted like a serious little old man. I'm sorry I can't be there to pin on one last Friday morning boutonniere. Now that we're both retirees, you can stop calling me Mrs. Prince and start calling me Anne. I wish you and Wendy the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Number 32. The fact that you have personalized cupcake holders, 1 and 2, from the same student's mother, simply tasteless. Number 64. This right here, why? Why do your students love you this much? Don't forget. The mayor is
It's been a long time, clear back to sometime in the 70s, when you were a 9th grader and used to come eat lunch in my room every day. I still don't know how you got out of the cafeteria, but they probably thought you needed a lot of extra help, I guess. I can remember that way back then, and then back in the 80s sometime, probably it was about 86, suddenly the first day of school, we're sitting in the auditorium at the high school, and you're sitting in front of me. And I said to myself, yeah, it is. It's Carney, you know. And then you were back. So here you were teaching basically across the hall from me at that point. The other thing I remember vividly was the last year that Martha Brown was a 7, 8, and 9 building. And we had the final faculty meeting in the cafeteria. And I remember the piano was in there. And you played Billy Joel's Only the Good Die Young, you know, and I always kind of tie that song with the end of Martha Brown as a 7, 8, 9 building. But yeah, we go back a long time, a lot of stuff. I can remember when Ferdinand J was on the radio in the morning and would have all these horrible puns, and you used to bring them into me every day. In fact, I think I've still got a tape somewhere downstairs that you gave me with a lot of the horrible puns on it. And I think I still have the little moo cow thing you gave me at some point. I think I sent it in with Kevin at one point when you had him in class. So we'll see if I can resurrect that as a retirement gift for you. I got to enjoy it in my retirement. Now maybe you can enjoy it in yours.
Carney, thank you for teaching me the essentials. Pink Floyd and the Beatles. I'll miss you.
Jim Carney, 30 years, man, and there's probably few of us in this room that can go back to the day that you were hired. Unfortunately, you weren't one of my great hires because I was teaching at the time, but I certainly remember your first year at Martha Brown, and how lucky we have been for 30 years since then. I've enjoyed our Monday morning football chats as you stop in after your long drive from Batavia. But I enjoyed the talks about the Chiefs and the Bills and the constant desire to both hate the Patriots. And I got to be honest, I'm going to miss that. I saw your spreadsheet to Brett. I'm surprised you waited 30 years to submit your mileage voucher, and I did double check your numbers, and $248,000 is what the district owes you for mileage, and that you didn't even amortize the mileage rate. So I really think if you had gone back, you could get more. But that's a lot of money, and hopefully you can use that money well. I just hope it doesn't result in any more teacher layoffs to come up with that money. But obviously, Jim, we're going to miss you here at Martha Brown. The Floyd spot in the parking lot, undecided yet as to whether we're going to retire that spot or make it into a garden. I'm going to get a committee on that to see what we do with the Floyd spot in the parking lot. But looking forward to just hearing about your successes with your wife and the shelter in Batavia. Maybe they'll make a movie about that someday. And you know, the guitar, the music, the entertainment, everything you do in the classroom to bring history alive, we're going to miss. Your kids are going to miss. And just look forward to hearing about your retirement. And enjoy. And I hope that we see you. Just a reminder that you do have to sub at least one day to stay active in the sub list. And I'm hoping that we see Carney at least one day a year, if not more. And you know that the first LTS job that comes up in science or special ed, because I know you've had your share of special education instruction in the past, we're going to give you a call. Enjoy yourself, and go Chiefs.
Hey Jim, congratulations on finally reaching retirement. I know you've been on the countdown for maybe about 20 years now, and you finally got there. But you know, I know you thought a lot about maybe coming back and sub like I do, but I would not recommend it. I don't think you'd be very good at it. You know, maybe you can become a part-time dog catcher in Batavia or something. But you can't bring them all home with you, Jim. I mean, that's too much poop at home. So, hey, enjoy your retirement.
Hey, sweet studio, man.
Carney and their coffee maker. I'm telling you, I've hit it up to here. It's never filled enough. It's never emptied enough. What are we supposed to do? This is not his cafeteria.
First of all, let me say thank you to Eric Zimmerman for giving me this opportunity. I want to congratulate the retirees at Martha Brown this year, but having shared a room with Jim Carney for a whole year, I want to especially congratulate Jim. It was quite a year being with Jim. I never knew what to expect. There were times, many times, that the unexpected was something that would happen. He's a fine teacher at Martha Brown, was a fine teacher, and will be remembered as such. And he really made me realize that there were so many more things to being a teacher. I want to thank him for that. I want to say that in the history of Martha Brown Middle School, there has probably not been another Jim Carney, nor will there ever be another Jim Carney. He's special, he knows how to relate to kids, and he gets the job done. And I admire that in Jim. I want to tell him that this retirement that he's going into is not an ending chapter, rather a new chapter, that he can take his life and make many things from it. Jim, I wish you good luck. Retirement will go pretty quick. The years go much faster than when you were working. I know you're going to have a great sense of community in Batavia with Wendy. I know you love animals. I'm hoping that you will also continue drinking bourbon, because I enjoy my stays at your house, and for that purpose, I toast you, Jim Carney. And because Zim is buying this bourbon, I wish you'd retire every year. Here's to you, Jim Carney.
Good bourbon.
Hi, Michael. I've been asked to do a clip in honor of your retirement. And, you know, there's so many things, but the first two things that came to mind was to find a quote of all the wonderful things that we've done at 162 South Main Street. And I was looking for a quote either in this book or possibly this book. So those are the books I would use to find a quote. But really, I'll always remember, stay in the boat, Captain. Never leave the boat. Always stay in the boat, Captain. But what I really want to leave you with are 4 notes and a final goodbye. So those 4 notes are... And the last thing is, it's time to go. Time to go.